All right, well, let's call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order at 10:01. All those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have any public for comment for items that are not appearing on today's agenda? Wait a minute, all right. Move on, any additions to the agenda from either commissioner? No? All right, anybody need to change the meeting minutes?
Not that I'm aware.
All right, we'll take a motion then.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held January 9th, 2024.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meeting held on January 9th. All those in favor of approving the minutes do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay, motion carries. Great, thank you very much. Our proclamation for today, proclamation number 2 of 2024, is proclaiming January as National Blood Donor Month in Center County. Do we have anybody to speak on that, John? Maybe I should read the proclamation?
No, due to the weather, they were unable to make the trip, so if you'd be willing to just present
Okay.
the proclamation in the language.
All right, sure. So get a little sip of coffee here. So proclamation number 2 of 2024, whereas in times of crisis, people in Center County come together to care for one another. This humanitarian spirit is part of the foundation of our community and is exemplified by American Red Cross volunteers and donors. Very true. Seen a lot of that here in Center County from the Red Cross, including when we had the flood in 2016. Remember how they were staffing that emergency shelter at the high school. Whereas January marks the 54th anniversary of National Blood Donor Month, a time to recognize the importance of giving blood and platelets while celebrating the life-saving impact of those in Center County who roll up a sleeve to help patients in need. For those who have never donated before, it's a perfect time to start a new tradition of giving blood or platelets to help people facing some of life's toughest moments. Whereas January marks a time when seasonal illness and winter weather can lead to lower appointment numbers and decreased donor turnout, making it hard to keep up with the demand for blood products. The essential contributions of the Red Cross donors in Center County give hope to accident and burn victims, heart surgery and organ transplant patients, and those receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer, or sickle cell disease. And whereas the Red Cross provides about 40% of the nation's blood supply, and someone needs blood every 2 seconds in the United States, we dedicate this month of January to all those who resolve to give the gift of blood to help their neighbors in need. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Center County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim January of 2024 as National Blood Donor Month in Center County and encourages this observance to all our citizens and to support the Red Cross and its noble humanitarian mission. Adopted this 16th day of January 2024, Center County Board of Commissioners, Mark Higgins, Amber Concepcion, and Steve Dersham, and attested by John Fronick Jr., our administrator. Commissioner Concepcion, any comments on the topic?
It's a good reminder of the importance of donating blood as frequently as we're able to, and I think there will probably be a number of blood drive opportunities locally, I'm sure, as well over the next month or so.
Great, Commissioner Dersham.
You said it very well. It's a gift of life.
Yes, and I know when Penn State has those challenge blood donor events, they usually do pretty well.
Yep.
So happy to see that level of volunteerism in the county. Unless there's anything else, I think we could take a motion.
I'll move to adopt Proclamation 2 of 2024 proclaiming January 2024 National Blood Donor Month in Center County.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to adopt proclamation number 2, proclaiming January as National Blood Donor Month in Center County. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay, motion carries. Great, thank you very much. We will move on to contracts. I believe Shane is here from Central Booking.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Just here on behalf of the Booking Center for the contract renewal between the Pennsylvania Chiefs Police Association for the Booking Center CPIN live scan machine. That goes from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. And that's in the amount of $7,012.
Great. Well, thanks for presenting that, Shane. And the commissioners very happy to partner with all the local municipalities that have police forces for the central booking center. Makes it easier on our citizens, makes it much easier on the police forces themselves and other portions of the criminal justice system. Commissioner Concepcion, any questions?
Sounds good.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
No, I appreciate everything you do. It gets officers back on the street and keeps our community safer. Really works out well for everyone.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, looks like we could take a motion then.
I'll move to add the contract with the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to add the contract with the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks. Thanks for coming, Shane.
And Shane, you have your new member of your team with you.
Yes, I do. This is Mark Waite. He will be taking over central booking.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
So he will be the next guy down here for this next time.
So CO Wait will be
Will be
updated here soon.
Yes.
All right,
All
good.
right, thank you,
Great. Well,
guys.
Thanks for coming down,
congratulations
guys.
on the
Thank
promotion,
you.
Mark. And now we have Beth from our Elections Department with a contract renewal.
Good morning. I'm here with a contract renewal with Election Systems and Software for the firmware and license and extended warranties for the biannual maintenance for the equipment set forth within the agenda. This would be a contract amount for $106,455 for the period of March 1st of 2024 through February 28th of 2025. And this is just allows us to maintain our equipment and make sure it's in good working order. And then if there would be any changes to any of their software, we would get those updates as well.
And Beth, the software updates are very laborious since this equipment doesn't connect to the internet.
Correct. Yes, they have to come in and do each piece of equipment individually, and the
Yeah.
company has to come in and do that.
Yeah. So I think that's partially one reason for the cost. Commissioner Concepcion, any questions?
Yeah, no, that was important to understand that that's one of the reasons it costs so much.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Cost of doing business.
All right. All right, unless there's anything else, I think we could take a motion then.
I'll move to add the contract with Election Systems and Software to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to add the contract with Election Systems and Software to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
All right, and for the next item for planning, Elizabeth is handling that. Almost
Yes.
threw me. I didn't see Liz, but you're Elizabeth.
Correct.
Yes.
Good memory.
Yeah?
I am here to ask the commissioners to consider a certification of the funds for 2024 for the Agricultural Land Preservation Program. The total will be $101,170, which is comprised of $80,000 from the county, $10,369.64 from Clean and Green interest and taxes, and a municipal contribution of $10,800 from the Ferguson Township. Last year was certified at $352,183.
Great. Well, thanks, Elizabeth. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I think it's your first commissioner meeting and doing a report. And of course, we very much appreciate those municipal contributions. This year it's from Ferguson, but a number of other municipalities has contributed in the past.
Yeah, Spring and Potter, I think, in the
Been
past.
pretty active. And I believe Commissioner Concepcion, you're our representative to that
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, so I'm the representative on that board. Looking forward to working with you. And for the benefit of the community, you know, this program really helps farmers be able to keep their farms as farms. It's a way of providing it's basically some capital money so that they're able to, you know, it's diverting instead of having them think about selling the farm to become another use. This really helps keep it in that agricultural use. And I think in terms of our mission as a county, like when we're thinking about economic development in the county and the importance of maintaining our agricultural economy here, this is an important part of that strategic goal for us. So.
Yeah, exactly. Commissioner Dershowitz?
No, it's all good. Thank you.
I know major portions of West Ferguson Township are still agricultural, primarily because of this program. I also know, as Commissioner Dershowitz mentioned, Potter Township has almost a checkerboard at this point of preserved farms throughout most of the township. which, does make development a little bit more difficult, but at the same time preserves the long-term viability of the county. We all still do need to eat, so very important topic. Unless there's anything else, I think we can take a motion.
I'll move to add the funding certification for the 2024 program year of the Agricultural Land Preservation Program to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adding the funding certification for the 2024 program year of the Agricultural Land Preservation Program to next week's consent agenda, do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And now Julia's got one item for Human Services.
I'm asking you to consider the approval of the contract with Carolyn Larrabee to be the new Protective Services solicitor. If you might recall, this is the third time I've been in front of you. The first attorney retired, the second attorney went to work for Penn State, and so we're hopeful that Carolyn will stick with our Office of Aging. And so this is specifically for the Protective Services unit, and they're looking for $120 per hour with an expected 40 hours annually for a total of $15,000. That is entirely paid for by the state. And it is from January 3rd, 2024 to December 31st, 2026.
Great. Thanks for the explanation, Julia, and glad we're able to find a local solicitor who's willing to help out with that very important
Yes.
service. Commissioner Concepcion, anything?
Sounds good.
Commissioner Dershowitz? All right. We'll take a
Okay.
motion.
I'll move to add the contract with Carolyn Larrabee to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to add the contract with Carolyn Larrabee to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks, Julia. And then John has some updates for capital projects.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Before you are a culmination of design adjustments that occurred over the course of the design of the Centercrest project. There were things that were discussed along the way that were considered out of scope and had to be completed as part of the overall design and getting the project to the current construction phase that we're about to embark upon. So before you for consideration are the additional services from the architect from relative to structural and interior design modifications, and then there is a subsection there for building systems that were handled by the MEP design professional that was involved. Also, at the end of this current proposal are the 2024 hourly rate schedule. So we are seeking approval to take to next week's consent agenda, excuse me, a proposal for a total of $120,795.
All right. Well, a lot of changes over that time frame. Commissioner Concepcion, any questions or comments?
Yeah, I mean, these were essentially services we asked them to provide, so.
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Dershowitz?
Regrettably, because of the $3,000 expense for the RCO, I can't support this, but I'm just giving you the heads up.
All right. All right, but you're fine with all of the other changes? Okay. All right, we'll take a motion on adding the proposal with MG Architects to next week's consent agenda.
So moved.
I will second the motion. All those in favor of adding the proposal with MG Architects to next week's consent agenda, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Obviously, no abstentions. So the motion passes. And now we will move on to the consent agenda, which is quite short. Not much there. I think we could take a motion.
Okay. I'll move to approve this week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve this week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, and then we have a request for a letter of support from the Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority, and I believe we have a couple people here to speak on that. Yeah, why don't you come on up? I see, is it Cameron and Katrina?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. My name's Katrina Pope. I'm the office manager with Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority. Our board approved a contract on January 8th with Invinity, a local contractor, to develop a fairly large array on all of our rooftops that will power 100% of our energy with solar. Cameron's here from Invinity. He can talk more to the technicalities of the project if you have any questions. But as part of that, they are helping us put together a grant application through West Penn, and we are requesting the letter of support for the project and the grant application. We're happy to answer any questions if you have them, if they're technical.
Okay.
To the right.
All right. Well, I know we've had great success with our solar array at the correctional facility. Saved substantial amounts of money. We're looking at probably somewhere above $8 million over its useful life. So
Wow.
that's about double the initial estimate. Commissioner Concepcion, any comments or questions?
Yeah, that's great that you were able to have enough space on your roof to provide solar for the electricity use 100%. That's
Yeah.
really incredible. So,
What's the cost of the overall cost of the project? I'm just curious.
The overall cost of the project is right around $1.2 million.
Okay.
We do have some electrical upgrades that we're going to be doing that are included in that 1.2, but it's a very small portion of the project.
What's your what would you say your electrical use is annually? Do you have any idea? Or is that beyond the?
I don't know the kilowatt hour. Our
I
annual
was just
bill
wondering
is
in
somewhere
money.
between $40,000 and $50,000 a year right now.
Okay.
But our current contract is through CoStars, and so we're only paying 4 cents a kilowatt hour. We do not expect that to continue at the end of 2024.
I reckon not. No.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And then, of course, you also have the solar energy credits as part of the project, too. So
Correct.
that would also help with the payoff.
Yep,
And-
I think that's a big portion of our cost savings. I'll
Yeah.
ask Cam if that's correct, but
And as you just mentioned, you're fixing the cost of your electricity for 30 to 40 years.
yes.
And there's only one moving part, and those things only cost about 10 grand to replace.
Yep,
So-
and we will own the array.
Oh, all right,
And then
good.
we will also own the energy credits, and so it's going to be a win-win for us.
Very good.
And then every user in the county of our
Exactly,
services.
because then that
So,
keeps your costs stable to declining for everybody everywhere in Center County.
Correct.
Fabulous. All right. Anything else the two of you want to add? I know Invinity's a local company.
Yeah,
Want to put in a little plug for yourselves? We wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, there's that, but no, kind of talking about the things that help the CCRA pay for the solar. That the thing we're here about today is we're applying for a grant through the West Penn Power Sustainable Energy Fund. They're West Penn Power's giving arm. When they need tax breaks, they push money through that. So, yeah, we're hoping to get a letter of support for that grant application. That grant application is due on Tuesday next week. So
All right.
I'm kind of sweating here at the snow.
Oh, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll approve it today, I think. Yeah, that'll
So,
be fine.
Yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Not really. I know you've been doing a great job for local residences and small businesses as well, and we do have a variety of programs in Center County that help incentivize solar and green energy. So anybody interested, obviously they contact Invinity or several other local firms that do this type of work. Great. All right, looks like we'd take a motion.
I'll move to approve the letter of support for CCRRA.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the letter of support for CCRRA. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great, well, thank you very much.
thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very
You
much.
too.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
and now we're moving on to the check run. Commissioner Concepcion.
So the check that I'd like to recognize in the check run today is to the Phillipsburg Senior Center. It's one of the several senior centers throughout the county that our Office of Aging supports. And with that, I'd like to move that we approve the check run dated January 12th, 2024.
I will second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated January 12th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, now we'll move on to our administrator's report. John has resolution number 1 of 2023, which covers contract renewals that are budgeted that you end up just taking care of for us.
Yes, as you stated, Commissioner, All of the authorizations that I'm going to report on occurred in the fourth quarter of 2023, so we are under Resolution 1 of 2023, which allows the county administrator to execute any financial documents not to exceed $15,000, and only in those circumstances where funding for such has been approved and allocated through the county's budgeting process. There's also a discretion to authorize expenditures up to and including $50,000 for emergency situations, and that those obviously have to be reported on by the administrator at the next meeting. There were 35 such authorizations performed during the fourth quarter of 2023, with individual monetary values ranging from $141.42 to $10,000 even. Of the 35 authorizations, 7 were software tech-related services or renewals, valued at $37,374.44. 4 items were mail, postage, or office equipment related for a total cost of $11,740. 20 items involved human services expenditures, totaling $117,963, and the remainder included items such as legal services, lawn maintenance, snow removal, and an insurance policy renewal. Those were totaled at $20,434.47. The grand total of all expenditures authorized by the administrator in quarter 4 of 2023 was $187,511.91.
Oh, thanks for tracking that all the way down to the 91 cent level, John. Commissioner Concepcion, any comments?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
No, it's clear, most of it is human services and maintenance related.
Yeah. All right. Unless there's anything else, I think it's just a report, so we don't need to approve or motion on anything. Do we have a voter's registration report?
Yep, I've got it
All right.
here. So,
Baton has been passed.
Yep.
Yes.
So I picked that up today. The total voters registered in Center County at this time are 100,801. Of those, 42,324 are Democratic, 40,853 are Republican, Green Party comprises 138, Libertarian 604, no affiliation 13,829, and all others are 3,053, coming to that total of 100,801. And that is up 29 since last week. Our precinct of the week is Precinct 41, College North, and they vote at the Center Region Active Adult Center in the Nittany Mall. And they're down at the Rural King end of the mall. So for the last election, it looks like they had 45.9% turnout. And then for our party of the week, we have the Adarian Party, and they have 1 registered voter. So,
I believe that's a Star Wars reference.
is it okay?
It is, yes.
Wasn't sure.
Well done,
I
well done.
believe that might have been the planet the Death Star blew up. Is that correct?
I don't remember.
All right, so I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan in the room,
Somebody's
and I'm
very
only
creative though out there.
so.
more than I know.
I think that's the planet Princess Leia came from.
Sounds about right.
Yes, yes. All right.
I
Very
did not
good
catch the
report.
reference.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ray? You a Star Wars? You're not a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for the report, Amber. We've got any executive sessions to report or hold?
No executive sessions to report or hold.
All right. And we have later today a Board of Elections reorganization meeting at 1. On Thursday, the 18th, we have the Board of Assessment and Revision of Taxes at 1:30 and the Employee Benefits Trust at 2. And then next week, Tuesday, Board of Commissioners meeting at 10 a.m. Seeing no press here, no questions from the press, unless there's anything else for the good of the order. I think we could adjourn.
I will move to adjourn then.
Second.
We have motion and a second to adjourn at 10:26. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.